Hi, I'm Stacy. I hope you enjoy and are inspired to create. Hi everyone, Stacy Graves here for Not Too Shabby. We're going to go ahead and use August box of the month. And I'm going to assemble the card first, and then I will go over the process of coloring. This is something new I'm trying. You let me know if you like this, because not everybody likes to color. So what I'm doing is assembling first, and then we'll do the process of coloring and whatnot later. And I have to say that I love this month's box of the month. This is by far my most favorite release. I love fall, but the images are amazing. The colors in the pattern paper and ephemera are amazing. I love all the different shades of the browns, all the different shades of the blushes and pinks, and I love the images. These were so fun to color. I have made so many cards. I've already said it in other videos, which you'll be seeing by the time this video comes out, that this time I've made 11. I know I will have more by the time this video pops up. So what I did was cut out from the Mocha Season pattern paper, and I cut out some browns to match it for that scalloped frame that goes around the circle die, and then I just layered them up, and I colored up my image and fussy cut it, and then I put it on there as well. These are some enamel dots that I had in my stash that I thought matched well. I stamped that sentiment out in, I think, Rich Cocoa ink from Memento. I thought it matched well with the colors of the paper. And then now we're going to get to coloring. So I think with this image here, even before I added the colored pencils, you could have stopped. With the colors that I chose, those lines within the ink still showed up enough to create division in the image, and it would have kept a much softer look. So it's up to you whether or not you want to add more color to it with colored pencils, if you want the texture of colored pencils. I personally like it, but I still think it would have been okay without it. And I really work my blends, and I think that's why I felt more confident in it. And I don't know why I bridge 43 and 42, to be honest, because that would make 41, which there is a 41 marker. It did seem to go differently, but don't waste your time. I don't know what I was thinking. I think this day I was lacking sleep, I was enjoying the process, and I overcomplicated it. If you have the markers, just use the markers, but if you don't, that tip-to-tip technique will blend two different colors together. So you would take your lighter marker, touch it to your darker marker, and that will create a mid-tone in between. And I just thought this chair image was really cool. And it could go for so many different things, right? Maybe you could use this for a housewarming present and you put the chair there and use that. Maybe it's a birthday. It could go for Mother's Day. It could go for Father's Day. If you didn't want the heart there on the pillow to make it more masculine, I suppose, you could wipe it off your stamp before you stamp it down. Maybe you don't want the bow and the pumpkin, wipe it off. Or you could leave it and just change the colors up, right? Instead of having a pink blanket, maybe you have a blue. Or maybe you do a chocolate colored one. I think you could make even this for a birthday. You can make it for retirement. You can make it for whatever. I really like this image, and I think it's super versatile. Trying to make those legs look like wood, so that's why I brought the E20 markers in. Those are great. The E20s are great for coloring chocolate too. So when I come back in with these other pinks, I I'm literally laying the lightest down, then I'm going in with the darker, and then I'll take the lightest and go over it because it softens it and it makes it the lines less stark. But you could lay down the one color and go back in with pencils if you want. Whatever works for you. This image took a long time to color. I really took my time with it, and in the end, when I took the pencils to it, man, I was really trying to get it to match the pattern paper, and you'll see at the end how this image changed a bit. And I really wish I would have just left it the same and pivoted, because I wanted to bring in the blush autumn, which I was having an issue matching my pinks up to that pink within my Copic and colored pencil realm. And I saw Jamie's video today with no colored pencils as I'm doing this voiceover, which is already it will release long before this video comes out. Her pinks match perfectly, and I gotta go watch that. I think I said this in my other video. I was like, darn it, I wish I would have seen that before, so I could have made it work to match the pattern paper and ephemera from the autumn blush, or the blush autumn paper pad and ephemera. But I just brought the mocha season in, and I pivoted, so I didn't keep those pinks in there. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in some more, like, I think they're like a more olive green. I think it went well with the browns and the pinks. I swear, for every card I made so far, I've used these pinks and the same browns and greens. But I was having fun. So if you want repeated color usage throughout the month, that's what you're going to get. I'll have to bring in some other colors and see if I can make that work for it too. And at the end of the assembly, I'll put the, if you're still here, I'll put the, where I share this card. Now here I am coming in with colored pencils. I think it just allows for more detail. You do get texture from colored pencils too that markers don't give. And I didn't used to use colored pencils. It's like twice the coloring. However, I've been really enjoying it, and it really does help to give a different depth and to your colored images that markers just don't do. And I was trying to make some sort of realism in this card, so that's why I really focused on the shading. And I use that, it's a large, and it's almost like a blush brush. It's not, it's a watercolor brush. But if you have a makeup brush in your stash, you can use that to brush away the debris that come from pencils. A lot of times when I use my hand, it actually smudges it and leaves little, I mean, it's coloring pencil shavings. Essentially, it's coming off there. When you use your hand and put too much pressure, it's going to leave a mark. So the brush makes that less likely. I've also used to just blow on it or pick it up and tap it off. But then when I do that and I'm filming, it makes it more difficult to get that card to land back in the place. And then I have to figure out in editing how to keep that image more so to the center of the screen, which you can see it kind of floats around here. Don't be afraid to turn your images. Also, when doing videos, I know a lot of us YouTubers like to keep the image straight up and down and not move around a lot on the screen. Sometimes what happens is your hand, when you're coloring, will cover up where that lead or the markers touching the image, and it covers it so people don't actually get to see. So hopefully you don't mind the turning, because then you get to see where the actual colored pencil and markers are laying down and not just an idea, right? I mean, I don't mind it being turned. So hopefully you don't either. Here's where I'm going in and adding the detail to the fringe on the blanket. I'll add it into the folds of the blanket. and just that way it has some dimension. And then I'm taking my lighter colored pencil and going over that, and see how it softened it a bit. So it blended that shading a bit and it softened the original tone I put down. If you're drawing in details on something though, and maybe it's a face, and you don't want the pencil to smudge, you need to put that last bit in at the very last, because when you color over it, what it's doing is kind of smudging it, and that's how it's blending it. So if you have a line that you don't want to be smudged or blend out, don't do that. Especially on faces, because when I go back in with like a dark brown pencil or black, and then I color over it with a flesh tone, it smears it. Here's our finished card. I really like this card and how it came together, and I think I could give it for a lot of different reasons. I hope you enjoyed seeing it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.